Hello guys, welcome to the session. Just wait for 1 minute. We'll start the session. All right. Okay. All right. So I believe we are good. Let me share my screen. Then we'll start the session. Okay. So hope you guys are able to see my screen. So today very important topic we are going to discuss, right? And in this topic we are trying to understand. Basically, we'll try to understand how to become a network engineer in 2025. And what would be the right roadmap to become a network engineer? So we'll discuss all aspects for the network engineer program and step-by-step roadmap, right? So let's start our video and let's start our discussion. If you guys having any question, right? If you're watching in the YouTube, please feel free to put your query in the chat so we can have a discussion. Yes, hi SB Creation, very good evening. I can see you just talking in the chat here, right? Okay, so let's start our discussion and I will just explain the step-by-step process, how to become the network engineer. So I have few things to discuss, right? The first thing, right, if I want to become the network engineer, what is the prerequisite and who can become the network engineer? So if you go in our website and you just want to explore the network engineer program, even you can just go and see that what are all courses are available in network engineer program. But most important, you have to understand like who is the eligible to become the network engineer and how he can become the network engineer. So probably anyone who done the graduation, if I'm talking the graduation, might be he done the BA, he done the BCA, he done the BCom, or if you done the like any technical courses like the BTech or BE, that is like also going to add additional advantage. But to become the network engineer, anyone who have done the graduations can become the network engineer, right? So how the step-by-step process is going to be happen to become the network engineer? So the first step, if you want to become the network engineer in 2025, right? If you did not start in 2024, so might be you are planning to start in 2025, then what is the first step, right? So the first step, we have the very initial certification program that is known as the CCNA. So if you want to become the network engineer, you have to start the very first program that is a CCNA, which is known as the Cisco Certified Network Engineer. So why this Cisco Certified Network Engineer? So basically, Cisco is one of the major organization across the globe who providing the certification for the Cisco devices, means the devices which are going to use for the networking and security and wireless connectivity. For that, it is going to provide the connectivity and all kind of the automation, all kind of the wireless and everything, whatever required to just build a very good network design. So that's why in a globally, Cisco have the very large scale devices deployed, right? So if I have the large scale devices deployed across the globe, so I need a more engineer who can support this kind of the like all devices which are deployed in the across the globe. So that's why CCNA is the first step that is provided by Cisco. You should have to start your career with the CCNA, right? And once you done the CCNA, then you just have some basic idea about the networking. You can start your journey with the networking, and then you can further move with a different certification, which I'll discuss about that. So Cisco Certified Network Engineer, let me write it here. So probably you are planning to do that. So you just go here and known as this is a Cisco Certified Network Associate, right? So this is the certification which is known as the CCNA. So this is the foundation certifications by the Cisco, and it have the like the basic understanding, means you can understand what is the networking fundamental, what is the IP addressing, what is the routing, what is the security, right? What is the switching, means security, you mean the basic security, right? And then switching, and also you have some kind of automation skills, basic automation skills. So basic thing like you have the internet. every day you're using the internet, your mobile phones, your Wi-Fi routers, broadband router which is available in your home. So anything you're using on the daily basis by your mobile, by your laptop, in your home, in your offices, to understand how those devices are providing the internet connectivity, you should know about the basic networking fundamental, and you are going to get that basic networking fundamental from the CCNA. So that's why CCNA is just, beginning of the networking. So anyone who is just planning to do the, network engineer journey and want to become the network engineer, either they are the BA, BCA, BCom, BTech, BE, they start from the CCNA. And why someone is going to start from the CCNA? So CCNA is basically, it is going to ensure you strong understanding of the networking concept. And it is also going to prepare you to just, understand real network setup. Basically, you are going to understand how the step-by-step real networking setup is going to be done. And most important, if you are going to do the CCNA, then you are going to understand basic concept like what is the OSI model, right? Versus TCP/IP models. They are the basic things, right? You have to understand. You will understand how to configure router, and you also know what is the router, right? How to configure router, and what is router, and why we use router. This is also very important. Then you understand configuration of switch, what is switch, and why we use the switch. These all concept you are going to understand. In addition of that, you are going to understand, like, you are going to understand, let me write it here, the VLANs. That is a virtual LAN. So this is the basic concept. In a switching, you have to understand what is the VLAN and why this VLAN is very important, right? And also you're going to understand some routing protocols. So this is switching. Also, in a set of the VLANs, we have some additional concept like we have the STP, we have the RSTP, we have the MSTP concept that also we are going to understand. But here you just have to understand the VLANs. So let me write it here. So probably you're going to understand the spanning tree protocol, right? Rapid spanning tree protocol, right? And also you're going to understand the VTP. These are switching concepts, but you have to basically understand first about the STP, RSTP VLAN, then you can just go and understand the switching concept. But these are the basic thing. You just have to know about that. Apart from that, you just have to start learning about the routing, right? So in this CCNA, you are going to understand the basic routing concept. And in this basic routing concept, you are going to run the static route. What is the static route? You are going to understand about the dynamic routing. In this dynamic routing, you are going to learn about what is the RIP and what is the EIGRP, right? And what is the OSPF. And based on that, you are just going to do the configuration, like troubleshooting, anything you want to do that is possible via this particular CCNA. And you're going to understand each and everything. What else? So once you are going to basically use this all concept, you are going to probably understand the whole networking concept. But most important, guys, if you talk about the CCNA, right, this CCNA is known as just beginning of any networking. That's why it's the ABC of networking world. So if anyone want to start learning the networking, they have to start with the CCNA, and they just have to learn the basic OSI model, TCP/IP model. Like also they have to learn what is a router, switches, what is the VLANs, STP, RSTP. They have to learn about the basic routing, switching, and static routing, and every concept as well. Now let's talk about other things as well. So let me, if I have something ready with you. So let me share something so you guys can understand. Yeah. So you can see here, probably it is too small. Leave it. I will use some other screens. So once you are going to like complete the CCNA, so let me show you some other roadmap also. So if I go for the Cisco certification roadmap. So if you're going to just open the Cisco certification roadmap, you're going to find it here something very important. So let me show you. See here. So this is the entry level certification program. In this entry level certification program, you are saying here, let me use something. So this is the entry level certification program. After that, you have the associate level certification program. And we have the professional level certification. Then we have the expert level certification program. So entry level, that is known as the CCST, right? Cisco Certified Support Technicians. Generally, we do not require to do that. We are going to just start with the CCNA, that is the Cisco Certified Network Associate, right? This is not like prerequisite, you have to always do that. But if you want to do that, the certification, you want to learn about the basic networking or just fundamental, you can do that. But this is also going to cover in the CCNA as well. After CCNA, what you have to do that? We have the multiple option. Means you have the basic foundation of the networking. Now, after that, what you have to do that? You have to become the professional level of the engineer. So in this professional level, what you have to do that? You can go with the CCNP. But in CCNP, we have the multiple tracks, right? In this CCNP, you can see we have the multiple track, like we have the CCNP enterprise, we have the CCNP service provider, we have the CCNP data center, we have the CCNP security, we have the CCNP collaboration. So which track should I choose? That's the most important, guys. So it's totally depend on your interest, right? Some people are just want to stay in the routing switching domain. So if you want to stay in the routing switching domain, so that CCNP enterprise is there. If you want to learn more about the service provider network, means more in depth in the routing, where you want to learn about the BGP, MPLS, service provider network, then you just have to go and learn about the CCNP service provider. You have the interest in the data center technologies, like you want to understand how data center network work, how the data center network is going to be configured, what is the data center nexus environment, 9K environment, leaf and spine environment, ACI environment. Then you can see here ACI. So you have to start your journey with the CCNP data center. If you have the interest of the any kind of the CCNP security, security means you want to manage the firewalls, you want to manage the proxy, you want to manage some kind of the cloud solutions. So that IPS IDS solution. So you are have to basically you have to start your journey with the CCNP security. So these are the routing switching. This is the purely routing switching. This is the purely service provider. This is the data center. This is the security. And then last we have the collaboration. This is the like something related to the voice infra, like IP telephony, right? If you want to do the IP telephony, then it is just used for this collaboration. You want to do some Teams calling, right? Teams video, audio, video chatting, like whatever you want to do that is always going to part of the collaboration. So someone having the interest in the collaboration, they can do the collaboration as well. If someone have the wireless, this wireless is going to part of this CCNP enterprise. This routing switching plus wireless is going to be there. So anything you want to do that professional course, you have to do the CCNA first. Without CCNA, you cannot understand the basic foundation of the any professional courses. Why this CCNA important? Because it's have the basic networking fundamentals, it have the basic automations, basic security. Also, it's have the basic kind of the your routing switching. So let me show you the syllabus as well, so you can understand what is that. So just give me 1 minute. So that's why in a GoINet network engineer program, we have the multiple courses. You can see here. So if you go in the network engineer program, so we start with the, you can see, we start with the CCNA, then we go for the CCNP, then we go for the CCNP in core and NRC. I'll discuss what is the in core, what is the NRC, and then after we have the Palo Alto firewall. So I have a query from the YouTube. I can see Fab Sharam asking, sir, I have been working since 10 years in ISP service managed company. Now at the 39-year-old, I'm earning 5 LPA. I started working with the 12th pass, didn't happen my education qualification. How can switch my door qualify in the basic networking? I don't have CCNA in core muscle local. Okay, so like Fab Sarom, no need to worry. I hope you done the 12th pass, but you require, if you want to work in the good MNC, you have to do your graduation. So I believe there is a lot of company available, right? There are multiple way you can do with the open source, or might be you can do the full time as well. So I would recommend you first you do your graduation, then only you can get the good job in the good company. So my first recommendation is still have the time. Please do your graduation. As you have done your CCNP and CCNA from the local institute. So it's a good certification is not required, right, for the initial level of job because you're just having the 5 LPA package. So it's still you are in the good shape. At least you are earning 5 LPA from the reputed company. Might be having the good experience. But if you want to scale up your career, right? So 12th pass is not just enough, right? Your CV is not going to be shortlisted. So I would suggest please do your full-time graduation or might be the graduation from the open universities. So at least you can apply for the good companies and you are going to get good package. But at the same time, you also keep upgrading yourself. CCNA and CCNP is not just enough for you because you have the 10 plus year of experience. You try to learn the SD-WAN technologies. You try to learn firewall technologies. You try to learn SASE technologies, right? Then you are going to get more opportunity from the market. But most important, you have to do your graduation as well. Okay. So please do your graduation first, then you just focus on your certifications and your like upgradation of the skills. All right. So CCNA is the first step. But if you want to see the CCNA syllabus, right? Let me just go and show you the CCNA syllabus. Even in my, let me show you. Just give me 1 minute. If I want to show you, this is the roadmap, right? Network Engineer Program by GUINET. So you can see about the training program, we have the 4 modules, CCNA, CCNP, in core, NRC, and the Palo Alto Firewall. If you don't want to do the Palo Alto Firewall, you want to do with the FortiGate Firewall, you want to do the Checkpoint Firewall, you can do that. There is no problem at all. Any firewall is mandatory because nowadays security is very important. Being a network engineer, you must have the security knowledge as well. So if you don't have the security knowledge, probably you are going to like face a lot of trouble. So that's my recommendation. You just have to do the security level knowledge as well. So firewall is very important. So now you can see here in the module 1, we have the CCNA, right? In this CCNA, you can see here, like we have the networking fundamental. So anyone who want to become the network engineer, they must have the networking fundamental knowledge. So let me just open the official Cisco syllabus so you guys can understand. See here. So this is the official syllabus, and the same syllabus we are going to cover in our program as well, right? So you can see these all 1.13 points are there, and you are going to see here, you are going to find total 1.13. See, some are the subtopics which we not included in our syllabus. So you have to understand the basic router, you have to understand the switch, you have to understand the next generation firewall, you have to understand about the access point, you have to understand about the controllers. See, these are the very important guys. That's why I'm talking. The networking fundamental is very important. Like what is Cisco DNA, what is the wireless WLAN controller, right? So WLC wireless LAN controller. We have the endpoints. So what does means endpoint? What is the server? What is the power over Ethernet? PoE switches or PoE devices? We have to understand about two-tier architecture, three-tier architecture. We have to understand about the leaf and spine, WAN, SOHO, small office, small home, on-premises and the cloud networking. We also have to understand single mode fiber, multi-mode fiber, copper, Ethernet, share media, point-to-point connections. We have to understand about the different kind of the collision, errors, mismatch, duplex, and errors. So we have the TCP, a lot of things we have to understand in networking fundamental. So until you have a very good networking fundamental, you probably not able to understand the rest of the topics. like what is the VLANs, what is the Ether channel, what is the BPDU, what is the HTTPS radius TACACS, and then IP services, IP connectivity. So a lot of things we have, and you can see the programmability, automation also we have to understand. What is the underlay, overlay, security fundamental you have to understand, Wi-Fi security, firewall security, VPN security. So these are the very important guys. And that's why if you have the dream to become network engineer, you always have to invest a lot of time on this CCNA. Once you have done the CCNA, then we have the second program. There is a CCNP in core and CCNP NRC, right? So this is a profession level program. You can see here in the CCNP, we have the CCNP in core, and then we have the CCNP NRC. So what is CCNP in core and what is CCNP NRC and why it is important? So see, CCNP in core is the mandatory, right? CCNP in core again, like with the CCNA, you are going to get upgraded version of the CCNA. Means whatever you cover in the CCNA, you are going to get double of the information from the CCNA to the CCNP in core. And it is going to get more in depth about the automation, more in depth about the your SDN technology, more in depth of the 3-tier architecture, 2-tier architecture. It is going more in the configuration. It is going more in the wireless. So your knowledge is going to be 2x here. Means whatever you learn the CCNA, actual fundamental you are going to get here, and more implementation, configuration and troubleshooting are going to get here. But this CCNP in core is going to be give entire industry knowledge feature. Let me show you. Means networking knowledge. Here you're going to understand about the architecture, you can see, and also you're going to understand about the virtualization. You are going to understand about the infrastructure, complete routing, switching, NAT, PAT, multicast, VRR, PHSRP, everything you're going to understand. Network assurance, what is the SPAN, RSPAN, IPSL, DNS, and RESTConf, NetConf, and also security, wireless security, firewall security, MACsec, TrustSec, next generation firewall, endpoint security. Then you're going to get the automation as well. So that is going to give the next level of knowledge and next level of experience. I have one question from Fab. Thank you, sir. With the family having kids, I'm unable to study now. Also, age factor matter, can do switch without having the further. Yeah, you can get the job switch, Fab. You can do that, but the scope is going to very limited because most of the company want the graduation. But yes, for the small company, you can apply. You can just get the jobs as well. But probably that is not going to be very high growth. So like it's up to you. If you have to like chance to do the graduation, I would suggest do that. And if you can't do that, then you have to try on the basis of 12th pass, based on their experience, whatever you have. You can get, there is no hard and fast rule you cannot get, but only the probability is less. If someone has the graduation, they have the more probability. Okay, thank you. So the automation, right? You guys see here. So automation is there. So probably in this particular CCNP and core, you are going to get a lot of information, a lot of things about that particular architecture, virtualization, and then infrastructure and the automation and the security. Now coming back to the third module. Now you have the CCNA knowledge, you have the CCNP knowledge. Now you want to become the routing expert. So that's why CCNP and RC is the pure routing. It's a pure routing. Means you want to become the routing expert, like you want to become the champion of the OSPF. Very advanced level. You want to become the champion of the EIGRP. You want to become the champion of the BGP. You want to become champion of the MPLS, DMVPN. You want to become champion of the IPv6. You want to become the champion of the route map, right? IP prefix list. So these all things are going to cover in the NRC. So NRC redistribution also. So NRC is the advanced routing. In this, you are going to get each and every configurations of the routing, advanced routing, implementation of the advanced routing, troubleshooting of the advanced routing. And trust me, routing is going to require everywhere. Routing is going to require everywhere. So from CCNA to CCNP, CCNP, we have the two flavors, CCNP in core and CCNP in RC. Then after you are good network engineer with the routing and switching. Means now you can say, yes, I have done the CCNA and I have the CCNP. So I'm more capable engineer who can understand some little bit SDN technologies and also legacy routing switching, automation, some the WLC concept. But still, some of the scenario, let's suppose you have to work in the multitasking skills and you have the requirement of the firewalls. So most of the company, why I'm talking the network engineer should have the firewall skills as well. Because if you're going for the any company for the interview, they are going to ask you, do you have the firewall knowledge? Right? And you're going to say, no, I don't have the firewall knowledge. So your might be selection chance is going to be low. And someone who are having the routing switching knowledge and some basic firewall knowledge, they are going to get higher like probability to get selected in the company. So that's why in a network engineer program, we also include the firewall courses. You can see here in this firewall courses, what is going to be happen? You are going to learn about the Palo Alto firewall. That is a module 4. So in this module 4, what you are going to understand about the Palo Alto firewall? If you don't want to understand the Palo Alto firewall, you have the option, you can understand the FortiGate firewall. If you don't want to learn the FortiGate firewall, you have the option for the checkpoint firewall. Even you want to learn the Cisco ASA firewall, you can learn that. You want to learn the suppose firewall, you can learn. But my recommendation, you should go with the either of the firewall, right? But most like recommended firewall from my side is the Palo Alto, the FortiGate. They are the most demand firewall. That's why we included the Palo Alto because having the very high like demand in the market. So in the Palo Alto firewall, you are going to understand very in-depth knowledge about the firewalls, right? Means PCNSA and PCNSE both certification you are going to cover. Means you are going to understand how I can cover, how I can understand the Palo Alto firewall architecture, how can I do the initial deployment, what is my zone, layer 2, layer 3, virtual wire, tap mode, sub interface, DSAV, virtual router. You can see we have to understand what the security policy configuration, policy administration, NAT, source NAT, destination NAT, U-turn NAT, app ID overview, application group, application filter, antivirus, anti-spyware, URL filtering, DOS, data filtering, security profile, file blocking, wildfires, SSL decryptions. You can see outbound SSL, inbound user ID. We have VPN concept, global protect, side-to-side VPN. So these all and management, panorama, high ability, active, passive, active, active, both you are going. So everything from the Palo Alto you are going to understand in this particular fourth module. Similarly, if you want to do the FortiGate, you have the similar course content you are going to get there in your browser, right? So in all scenario, whatever you want to like brush up yourself, right? In terms of the routing switching, in terms of the firewall skill, it going to give the full flash flavor in our course and our module. So that's why if you have the dream again to become the network engineer, you have to start with the CCNA and then you just have to move to the CCNP and then the firewall. So let's discuss more about the CCNP program. So CCNP, as I mentioned, we have the two programs, that is the in-core and NRC. In-core is the enterprise core, NRC is the enterprise advanced routing and services, right? So NRC, you can just see here is the NRCs. This is known as the enterprise and A is advanced routing and services, right? So that's why they are going to cover the BGP, MPLS, VPN. And if you are going to learn the CCNP, what the benefits you are going to get. So CCNP prepare you to design and managing and troubleshoot the large scale enterprise network. CCNA is just going to give the basic foundation ideas, small network troubleshooting configuration, you can do that. And in this CCNP in core NRC, you are going to get hands-on experience networking. You are going to be very proficient in the troubleshooting complex network. You are going to be a very good network engineer who can do the network consultation, network architect, and also you're going to drive the real world and real time scenario issues, right? And if you are going to do on top of the Palo Alto certification, that is the PCNA and PCNSC, then you are going to understand the stateful, stateless firewall concept. You are going to depth understand the policy, NAT, VPNs, and you are going to create the firewall, allow some traffic, deny some traffic, inspect some traffic, and also you are going to understand how the threats, application, malware, virus is going to, and data leak is going to be, protected with the using the firewalls. So these are the like key benefits you are going to get with the Palo Alto certification, CCNA and CCNP. So that's why when you talk about the career benefits, so once you done these kind of the certification, you are going to become the network engineers. Let me write the some good, like you are going to become the network engineer. At the same time, you are going to become the network security engineer because you are doing the firewall also. You are going to become the firewall specialist. You are going to become the solution architect or network consultant as well. So solution architect, network consultant, right? So you are going to become the different job role available, and you're going to become as per your experience, whether you have the entry level experience or might be the 5+ year, 10+year, 20+year. Accordingly, you're going to map your job roles. And what are the company who are going to hire you? So trust me, every company, whether it's a banking, IT services, healthcare, government organizations, FMCG, whatever the company available across the globe, every company have the network engineer requirement. Trust me, they must need a network engineer who manage their network. So that's why if you done this certification, you have the knowledge of networking, you are going to basically serve for the any company for the IT engineer. So you don't have to worry about that. And salary range, if you done the networking courses, CCNA, at least you have done CCNA, just CCNA, you are going to get 4 to 5 LPA, right? Easily salary, or I can just change the 3 to 5 LPA. That's a very entry level of the salary you are going to get after CCNA. If you are going to the CCNP, you are going to get from 5 to 10 LPA. It's totally depend on your like certifications, your experience. Plus, once you done the CCNA plus CCNP plus firewall, right? The Palo Alto. Then your CTC is going to be 10 to 20 LP or even more, right? Totally depend on the your like what is the current year of experience, what is the current CTC. Let someone is starting the career, they're not going to get that much CTC. So let's suppose you just done the CCNA and CCNP and might be the Palo Alto, right? Let me write here. And you just have the 1 year of the experience, right? Then you're not going to get that much salary. You are going to might be get 5 LPA, right? You're going to get 8 LPA like that, right? Because you have the good certification, 1 year experience, or might be the 6 LPA, 7 LPA. After that, you are going to like get more salary once your experience is going to be increased. So this is how your salary band is going to be there. But yes, you are going to definitely get a lot of opportunity, and based on that opportunity, you are going to get the salary as well. Final thing, like if you want to practice being a network engineer, how I can do the practice on the real networking devices. So there are a lot of simulation tool are available to do the practice. Like if you want to do the CCNA level of practice, so we have the one of the tool that is known as a packet tracer. This is the one tool. By using that, you can do all your practice. We have the GNS3, right? We have the GNS3 that is against initial tool. By using that, we can do that practice. If you have the advanced level of the practice, you want to do that we have the eBenji. By using that, you can do the all your practice. And if you have done the CCNA, CCNP, and you want to grow more in your career, right? What next? Then you have to start your certification with this like SD-WAN technology. You have to go with the SASE technology, that is secure access service edge. And then you are going to get more opportunity with a higher package. All right. So I hope you guys understand like how your journey is going to be there. I don't want to make too much long your like this content. I want to be just stay in the very like short content, and I want to just like classify how being a network engineer in 2025 grow your career, because networking industry is constantly evolving, and trust me, in 2025 it is going to bring you the very exciting opportunity for those who want to become the network engineer. So that's why I just want to define the clear outline and clear roadmap which is help you to start your career. And the first step, you have to start with a CCNA, right? If you already CCNA done, then just go with the CCNP in core NRC and the firewalls, SD-WAN, and then you do the SASE and all. So that is how you can grow your career, right? You are going to get like ever demanding opportunity in the market, and you are going to having more opportunity to switch your job. You are going to get very competitive salary, right? And you are also going to get the future proof field, means your job is going to very secure. It's a recession free, networking domain is recession free technology where your job is going to be always secure. So it's a good time, guys. You can start your journey. So thank you so much for your time. And I hope you guys, get some insight about this network engineer program. All right. See you in next lecture. Bye-bye.